Hello guys, it's me Lunar. Welcome to this complete guide to getting every unique weapon and armor in the Outer Worlds. In the guide I will go over all 69 known unique items, including science weapons. I have tried to keep the guide as clear and short as possible, and only go over quests and parts where things are missable or difficult, but you will see the location of every unique item. Finally, not all 69 items can be collected. Some are optional, meaning you get a choice of weapon, but you can't get both. However, I will go over the variations when that happens. Basically, there are quests where you get to choose one weapon or the other. Several items are also bugged and simply missing from the game for some people, including me, but I will go over the location of them. Finally, 4 of the items are included in the 69, the Bursty, Negotiator weapon, and the Nightfall armor and helmet. However, the location of all of these are a mystery right now, and not a single person online has found them yet, but they are contained in the game files if you collect all the weapons on PC using console commands, but whether they're actually in the game to collect is still unknown. But if they ever do show up, I will link them in the description, but I'm not so certain that they're actually in the game. Technically then, this guide is for 65 items, and we're starting in Edgewater. The first 2 items are Reed's Hat and Adelaide's Gardening Shears, which are found as part of the Comes Now the Power, a very early on quest. To get both items, you have to restore the power to Edgewater and not the Botanical Lab. Return to Adelaide in the Botanical Lab once you've restored the power to Edgewater and convince her to return to Edgewater. And when you're talking to her, make sure to select that you will deal with Reed for her. Now you can return to Reed in Edgewater and kill him. Return to Adelaide to complete the quest, and she and her flock will return to Edgewater at some point. Now when she does return to Edgewater, you can then find Adelaide and also kill her. Once you do, you can then return to your ship, the Unreliable, and Reed's Hat and Adelaide's Gardening Shears will be available to pick up inside of your captain's quarters next to a skull. 2 things you can get pretty early on, both of which are technically missable. The next item is Fiver. You can purchase this from Stefan Garcia at the Botanical Lab. Blad on a Stick is found during the quest Fistful of Digits. Talk to Constable Reyes after you've restored the power to either Edgewater or the Botanical Lab. You must kill 3 outlaws, including Doc Mabel, who has the weapon on them when you kill her. The Peacekeeper is also found from Constable Reyes. However, you need to steal it from her. Make sure to do this as early as possible, because when you get to the point that Edgewater is attacked, if you follow that path, then everyone in Edgewater will die and the Peacekeeper will be lost. Maxwell can be purchased from the general store in Edgewater. The All Reliable is located at the Primal Nest in the Emerald Vale. Kill the primals and find the weapon lying on the ground. The Shock Stick is a reward for completing the side mission Die Robot, given by Ludwig at the Edgewater landing pad. Simply complete all of his missions and you will get this unique weapon. The landing pad cutter is also found at the Edgewater landing pad. Head under the landing pad and follow the platform to find the landing pad cutter. The final weapon in Edgewater is the Long Ranger. A really cool weapon, but unfortunately can only be found by killing Grace at the Botanical Gardens. I did try to pickpocket it, but the weapon will only drop if she is dead. For the unique items on Terra 2 Byzantium, starting with the Pink Slip and the Exterminator. These 2 weapons are found for sale from Winston Forsyth in Byzantium. Unfortunately, the Pink Slip sniper rifle is bugged for most people and doesn't show up in his inventory, but this is where you buy it from. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to buy it. Next is the Latinus and the Pauper Popper. The Latinus and Pauper Popper are purchased from Percival Platt in Byzantium's HHC building. However, unfortunately, again, one of these weapons is bugged. The Latinus, for most people, will not show up in Percival's inventory. However, the other one, the Pauper Popper, should be there. The Ionized Paper Knife is found in Byzantium's maintenance tunnels inside of the post office area. To get the Certified Explorer's hat, you must complete all Halcyon in a day quest for Alonso in the Bureau of Exploration. In the quest, you have to find 3 beacons, 1 in Edgewater, 1 on Scylla, and 1 in Monarch. The final item to be found on Byzantium is Chimaera. The Chimaera armor is one of the best in game, but takes a bit of time to get, and many are having issues with it, so I'm going to go over the whole quest. You start the quest by talking to Celeste in the haberdashery on Byzantium. She wants you to model 3 outfits: Marauder, which you can find easily in Edgewater by killing marauders, like the ones here in the Emerald Vale; the Iconoclast armor, which can be bought from the vendor in Amber Heights; the final armor is Spacer's armor, and this is the one where people are having problems. To get it, head to the armor vendor on the Groundbreaker and buy the water resistant wear and the padded helm. If he doesn't have them, then leave and come back, as the vendors do restock and the items change. These 2 will complete the quest for you though. If it doesn't work, then you can also try the farm gear and the low pressure helm. If none of these items work for you, then the quest is unfortunately bugged for you. The water resistant wear and the padded helm is what I used to complete the quest, so it's definitely 2 items that will work for you. Once you've done that, the final stage is to collect different items. You need 10 primal hides, which can be found by killing primals on Edgewater. There's a lot of them wandering around and they're easy to find. The Manta Queen chitin and Rapti-Don't flank hide can be found, but an easier way of getting it is to buy them from Sebastian Adams in Stellar Bay. The rest of the quest is straightforward. I'm not going to go over it because I don't want to spoil what happens for you guys. Once you complete it though, the armor is your reward. Let's look over the Terra 2 Roseway items, and a lot of these are missable. First, an easy one to get, the Rapti-Don't Handler's Armor. This can be found inside the luxury apartments in Roseway. Next, there are 3 that we're going to collect all around at the same time: the Anarchist Cookbook, Rapti-Prod, and the Researcher's Scrubs. So I'm going to go over this mission. In Roseway, talk to Anton Crane to start the mission, The Doom That Came to Roseway. The mission has you go to the Covert Labs. The first item we will focus on is getting the Researcher's Scrubs, and an optional part of the quest, which you should see on your screen if you're doing it, is to save the Rapti-Dons. You do this by putting them to sleep with the gas canisters. If you do, then the scrubs will be awarded to you at the end of the mission. You have to make sure that you do this part of the mission though before you do the next step, which is to rescue Cassandra, who is in jail. Now, rescuing Cassandra is also an optional part of the mission, but you need to rescue her in order to get a unique weapon later on. To save her, head to the porter's office to make a keycard to let her escape, then you have to make a path for her to get out of Covert Labs. Once you do that, you can head to Roseway to complete the Doom That Came to Roseway quest, which you will get your rewards, including the Researcher's Scrubs, and then you can make your way back to the labs, and outside wandering around is someone called Lillian. She's only here if you rescued Cassandra. Completing her easy side mission rewards you with the Anarchist Cookbook. All you have to do is find her lighter for her. Finally, inside of the Covert Labs, in the area where the Rapti-Dons is the Rapti-Prod, which is just sitting on a table. That leaves us then with those 2 unique weapons, the Ulti-Nature and the Ultimatum. In Roseway, talk to Orson to start the quest Vulcan's Hammer. You can do the quest all the way to the end. The only thing to note for this quest to make sure that you get these unique weapons is at the very end you will either return to Orson or Auntie Cleo. You have to return to Orson in order to get the unique ultimate weapon. Later on, you can come back and he will give you a second unique weapon called Ulti-Nature, so you get 2 for doing this quest. Let's look at the Groundbreaker and all the different satellites that are found in the game for unique weapons. First is the unique weapon Montag, and it is missable. During the quest Who Goes There, given by Commander Sanita, you must hunt down and kill Captain McRed. You get the Montag by killing and looting him. If you don't and you convince him to leave, then the weapon will be missable. The Welders Goggles are a reward for the quest Happiness is a Warm Ship for Jun-Li. It's not missable, so just finish the quest. But keep in mind, when you do this quest, you can come across Captain McRed from the previous mission if you're not doing these in order, so make sure if you do kill him to pick up his weapon. In order to get the silencer, you have to complete Happiness is a Warm Ship first. Then you can talk to Edna Igmire to start the quest The Silent Voices. It has you travel to GB23, a relay station, and at the end of the station you can find the silencer weapon. To get the defective Moonman helmet, it's simply found in the back of the Spacer's Choice shop on Groundbreaker. The Salvagers Helper is sold by Gladys in the Rest and Go. Next we're going to get the Sublight VP Armor, Researcher Mask, and Mind Control Ray, all within the same set of missions, so we're going to go over them. The Sublight VP Armor is one of the best in game, and it is missable. To start, you need to talk to Lilia Hagen to get the quest Salvager in the Sky. She is on Groundbreaker. Simply complete the quest to unlock the next one in the series called Space Crime Continuum. During the Space Crime Continuum quest, you can find the secret lab in Cascadia, which is on Monarch. Right at the end of the secret lab, after the room with the terminal where you exit, there is a locked door. The Mind Control Ray is behind the door, up the ladder. You can then continue on to complete the Space Crime Continuum quest to get the next one, which is called Ice Palace. So the third mission is the Ice Palace. During the Ice Palace quest, you head to the HRS 1084 satellite, play the mission all the way to the end where you are at the office terminal. Next to this room is another room with a safe inside where you can pick up the Researcher's Mask. Then you can head back to finish this mission, which will unlock the fourth and final mission for Lilia Hagen, which is called the Chimaera's Last Experiment. Again, just like most missions, you can play this one all the way to the end, but the important thing to know is when you get to the end of the mission and you confront Dr. Eva Chartrand, you have to kill her. If you don't, when you return to Lilia on the Groundbreaker to complete the quest, she will not give you the Sublight VP Armor, which means that this one is missable. So make sure that when you go to Dr. Eva Chartrand that you kill her, and you will be rewarded with the armor. The Prismatic Hammer is part of the science weapon missions. You start by accessing the terminal on the Unreliable for all these science missions. To get the datapad to know the location, you can pick it up from Gladys on the Groundbreaker, and to find the weapon, head to the sleeping quarters on the Groundbreaker, jump up on top of the beds to find a secret entrance to the repair bays, kill the enemies, loot the key for the door, and the hammer is inside of the repair hangar. The final two weapons we're going to look for are found on Phineas's lab. You can get the datapad again for the Shrink Ray from Gladys on the Groundbreaker. The Shrink Ray is simply located on a table in front of Phineas Wells. The Phineas Force weapon is found on Phineas Wells' room, but it's only available after Phineas disappears later in the main story, so you will have to wait until he does to get the weapon, and it's simply lying on a table in his room. There are 4 things to find on Scylla. We'll start with the Safecrackers Jacket. To get the Safecrackers Jacket, you need to start the companion mission for the companion Felix, who you find in Groundbreaker. At one point, you will end up at a place called Harlow's Base, a new location to fast travel to on Scylla. The jacket is inside a yellow container at the back of the base. To get Irions Flintlock, you have to obtain a quest first by accepting to do a favour for the customs officer on the Groundbreaker, Corporal Leonard Wheeler. He will ask you to give a message to Dr. Wanda Dorset on the Groundbreaker sickbay, which will lead you to Scylla to find Captain Irion. However, you can also skip all this and go straight to Scylla and find Captain Irion and save him when he's under attack, and when he's saved, he will give you his flintlock. The Primal Tamer's baton is found next to a dead outlaw in the south of Scylla. Finally on Scylla, the Mandibular Rearranger can be found at the abandoned mining camp. The place in the game with probably the most unique items is Monarch. We're going to start with one of the easiest ones, a nice hat. This is found in a church just outside of Stellar Bay. Next, we're going to get the unique items that you can get from missions on Monarch, starting with the MSI Elite Helmet, MSI Elite Armor, and the Gloop Gun. To get the MSI Elite Helmet and Armor, talk with Sanjar in Stellar Bay to start the quest Bolt with his name. Simply finish the mission and return the Bolt 52 cartridge to Sanjar. He will give you the MSI Elite Helmet as a reward, and will unlock the next quest, Errors Unseen. In the quest, head to the UDL lab and find the terminal to complete the mission. The keycard is located next to a computer in the previous room if you're looking for it. While you are here, you can also unlock the science weapon, the Gloop Gun, which is downstairs, and you unlock the chamber by using the terminal that you're already at. Simply finish the quest and return to Sanjar to get the MSI Elite Armor. Nice and simple. Next, we're going to get the Iconoclast Apostle Helmet, Iconoclast Apostle Armor, and the Euthanasia Kit. To get the Iconoclast Armor and Helmet, you need to complete missions for Graham Bryan in Amber Heights. The first mission is called The Commuter. Help him by getting printing press rollers and high capacity cartridges. Completing the quest gives you the helmet as a reward, and that also unlocks the next mission, Pay for the Printers. During the next quest, you have to rescue Zora's team as an optional side part of the mission. You do this by finding them next to the Terra 1 publications. Before you leave, however, you must find their medic, who is in the houses to the right hand side of the publication's entrance. Search the medic's body and she will have a unique weapon Euthanasia Kit on her. You can then continue with the rest of the Pay for the Printers mission, and when you return to Graham, you will be rewarded with the Iconoclast Armor. Before doing the final mission for Graham, you can speak to Zora Blackwood to start the mission Sucker Bait. So if you've done the previous missions, don't complete Canaan's Cradle or you will miss this quest. During the quest, the Hemlock's eye patch can be found inside the Seal building at the relay station. If you do the final mission for Graham, then the mission is missable, and so is the eye patch. The final mission for Graham is called Canaan's Cradle. It gives you 3 different weapon choices, but you can only get one of them, and 2 are missable. Pick wisely, and remember, the choice that you pick here will also determine the ending of the game. At some point during the Radio Free Monarch quest, a gunship will crash, and you need to collect the captain's key and return them. Who you return them to and what you say will determine what quest you choose and what weapon you will get. To side with the MSI, return to Sanjar, but don't ask for peace. And after you survive the Iconoclast Assault, he will give you the unique MSI Sultana Searer. If you want to broker peace between the Iconoclast and MSI and get the unique soft speaker weapon, do this by returning the captain's keys to Sanjar and asking for a truce. To side with the Iconoclasts, return with the captain's key to Graham, and after taking control of Stellar Bay, you will get the unique weapon, the Good Word. But like I said, only one of these 3 weapons is available in any one playthrough. To get the Sublight Contractor's Helm and Clive's Cleaver. In order to do this, you have to start the quest Slaughterhouse Clive for Catherine in Fallbrook. Now, the quest has some missable parts to it. When you get near the end of the mission and you actually find Clive, you can either kill him or persuade him to leave and return to Catherine to get the unique Sublight Contractor's Helm. However, if you decide to side with Clive, you start the mission Sisty Dance with Death, where you will have to kill Catherine and return to Clive, and you will get rewarded with Clive's Cleaver. You only get one of the 2 unique items. Personally though, I would choose the helm in order to stay in good standing with the people in Fallbrook, as there's quite a few things to do there, especially quests and vendors. To get the Supper Time weapon, you have to talk to Velma Ballard in the warehouses in Stellar Bay to start the quest The Secret People. You head to a house outside of Stellar Bay. I'm not going to tell you exactly what you do here because it's a fun mission and I don't want to spoil it, but the weapon is found right at the end on a body in a locked room at the top of the house. Our next item is a strange one. It's called Grimm's Tossball Blocker. This is a unique item rewarded by Grimm in Stellar Bay. However, the item doesn't show up as unique, but it is listed as unique in the game files. To get the item, all you have to do is complete Grimm's quest called the Grim Tomorrow. However, you decide to do the quest, when you finish it, you will get rewarded with a weapon called Tossball Blocker. Now like I said, this one's not showing up as unique in game, however, the game files list it as unique, which is probably just a bug. So if you're collecting all the unique items in the game, like I am, then don't break this one down. Keep it until we find more information. To get the Purpleberry Police Helmet, it's obtained in the customs building in Cascadia's landing pad. The Purpleberry Police Armor is inside of a 100 locked room inside of a safe in Cascadia landing pad. Keep in mind that if you don't have 100 lockpick, you can always temporarily change all of your stats on your ship. It does cost bits, but you'll only have to do it once. The Purpleberry Launcher is found in a lock room up a ladder in Cascadia. The SugarOps Helmet can be found in Cascadia's building with the Rizzo sign inside of a safe. To get the SugarOps Armor and Candy Cane, you can find them both together in Cascadia. Head to this bar here to find the door keycode for the walkway to Cascadia's landing pad. Halfway along the walkway there is an elevator. You can take this down to kill the guy inside and get his unique armor and weapon. To get the Hammer of Olympus, it's found at Sundered Rock on Monarch, northeast of Devil's Peak Summit. The Anti-Manti Ray is found in the Mantisaur lair, close to the Fallbrook Crossroads. The Sublight Plasma Knife is sold by Leanna Reid in Fallbrook. The Thunder Assault Rifle can be found at the C3 barracks. You can steal it from the barracks or you can finish the quest for the soldiers outside, but whatever way you decide to do it, it's easy enough to get. It's simply sitting on a table in the house. To get the Marauder Survivalist Armor, the armor is found in a yellow chest simply behind the Marauders River camp. The final weapon is called the Rapti-Don't. This can be found at the Hero's Last Stand in Monarch. That is about it for this video then, a guide on all 69 unique armors and weapons in the Outer Worlds. Unfortunately, the unique weapons of the game are not too special, but if you're like me and like to collect everything in these types of games, then this is how you get them. If you found the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe and also share the video for other people to see. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.